Look, this upcoming recession is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you to make life-changing money and build generational wealth as a normal person. You don't need to be a hedge fund manager or a millionaire to do this, but only if you understand what's going on in the world right now and how to execute on it. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you why the 2023 recession is gonna be different and possibly even worse than any recession that happened before. And I'm also gonna give you the 3 things you need to do in the next 6 to 12 months to get rich in this recession. Now, even though the US economy is technically in a recession, it doesn't feel like it is, mainly because many sectors are performing well, plus a strong labor market.
On paper.
But in reality, the data predicts that a steep downturn in the economy is on the way. The S&P 500 marked its worst first half performance since 1970. Inflation reached peak levels in 40 years, and the Fed is facing a very hard time trying to balance between raising interest rates aggressively to bring inflation down without actually triggering a recession. However, the World Bank said that interest rate hikes by central banks around the world could trigger a global recession in 2023. Now, of course, long-term, these interest rate hikes should eventually bring inflation and prices down. But in the meantime, you will find yourself squeezed between high interest rates on loans and high prices of just about everything, food, housing, gas, etc., especially with salaries not keeping up. So in a nutshell, raising interest rates makes loans more expensive, which makes everything expensive, which makes people buy less stuff, which makes it harder for businesses to grow, which ultimately slows economic growth. Now, when you add all that up to the repercussions of the 2020 events and the current Eastern European events, you get the strangest and possibly worst recession in history. But as scary as that sounds, that is actually good news. You see, recessions act as this big red reset button for the economy, which makes it the best opportunity for regular folks like you and I to make life-changing money if you do things correctly. And the bigger the recession, the bigger the downfall, the bigger the opportunity.
I had a confession, which is I go to bed every night, I dream of another recession.
Now, you might think that this is insensitive and cruel of me. People are going to be losing their jobs and possibly their homes as well. And you're right, it's going to be a very hard time. But that's why I'm making this video, so that you can watch it, and if God forbid you end up being one of those people, you know what you need to do to get out of it profitable. So here are the 3 steps you need to follow to get rich in this recession. And listen, these steps are not for the lazy, they're not for quitters. You must be focused, disciplined, and consistent for this to work. All right, so the first step is to prepare for the recession before it hits. And you do that by saving as much money as you can in the next 6 to 12 months. And look, I always say that people only save money because they can't make more of it. I mean, people would literally rather live in frugality and scarcity for decades in hopes to become a millionaire by the time they can barely go up the stairs anymore, instead of going out there and taking risks at an early age and make much more money in a way shorter period of time. But hey, I'm not telling you to go out there and blow all of your money away either. What I'm saying is save money for the purpose of investing it when the opportunity presents itself, like it is right now, so that your money makes you more money instead of just sitting in the bank depreciating. And even though I always encourage you to focus on making more money instead of saving more of it, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where even saving that $500 or $1,000 a month that you spend on clothes or car payments or Starbucks or Netflix, and dollar cost averaging it throughout this recession instead, could triple your income. You could literally go from making $30,000 a year to $90,000 or even $100,000 a year just by saving money. And by the way, this applies to high income earners as well. Now is not the time to level up your lifestyle and show everyone that you're doing great in life, even if you start making more money, because now is the time to live below your means, save money, and buy assets for dirt cheap that can 10x your net worth when they go up in value in the next couple of years. Now, step 2 is to take that money you just saved and make it work for you by investing it. Now, I know that to a lot of people, investing rhymes with complicated and expensive, and understandably so. However, investing is your only way to generational wealth. And it is only in times like these that you can build a considerable amount of wealth by only investing a minimal amount of money. Now, the level of difficulty and complexity of investing differs from one asset class to another. For example, if you want an investment on the safer side, you could look at bonds and commodities. If you want bigger returns, however, real estate might be the way to go. And speaking of real estate, a recession doesn't necessarily mean a real estate crash, but with interest rates on mortgages at their highest in a decade, people are now thinking twice before getting a loan to buy a home or investment property. So a recession-driven real estate crash is imminent. However, real estate still requires a much larger investment than most asset classes. That's why, in my opinion, the most beginner and budget-friendly investing opportunity with high returns right now are stocks and crypto. The S&P 500 is down 23% after a 2-month bear rally, and crypto markets are down 60 to 80% from the beginning of the year, which makes it a really good opportunity for you to buy now and sell when the market goes back up. But since it's almost impossible to time the market, especially for a beginner, you can just dollar cost average your way throughout this recession, like I mentioned. And the best thing about DCA is that it's addictive. The more money you make, the more you put back in, the more you make.
And it goes. The park is open 24/7, 365. Every decade, every goddamn century. That's it. Name of the game.
But look, the return on those investments is just as big as how much you invest in the first place. That's why, again, I always encourage people to focus on making more money instead of saving more of it. And step 3 solves that problem, and that is to start a cash flow producing business. Now, a cash flow producing business is one that generates daily, weekly, or monthly predictable income, which will allow you to make more money and invest it to get even bigger returns. But keep in mind, not all businesses are suitable for the recession. And the last thing you want to do is quit your job or drop out of college to start the wrong kind of business right now. You need a business that is low risk, high profit margins with minimal overhead. And the type of businesses that checks all of these boxes are online businesses. You can start them at home as a side hustle. The barrier of entry is usually low, and you can be a solopreneur until it picks up, and then you start expanding it and turn it into an actual business that will allow you to quit your job or drop out of college or whatever. And if you're still kind of lost as to which online business to start, because yeah, there's a lot of them, luckily for you, I made a video that gives you the best businesses to start during a recession as a full-time employee or college student to help you take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So click on the video that shows on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.